Good evening, everyone. Tonight I thought I'd show you a piece, how I retrieve it, one that I partly learned when I was a child, and I liked the piece, but I never perfected it. So going back to it, it's got even more mistakes in it than I had when I was learning it. So it's a good one to just sort of show you ideas on how to retrieve a piece and bring it to a better level. This piece is Sonatina in C. It's Opus 36, number 3 by Clementi. And it's a beautiful little piece. I think it was in the grade 5 Toronto Conservatory book, if I'm not mistaken. And I always enjoyed teaching it because it's such an up-spirited thing. And in fact, it even says spirituoso for the mood. And so I'll play through the way it has disintegrated over the years for me, and then show you a couple of ideas on how to retrieve it and bring it back in an efficient way that doesn't waste my time when I'm trying to do it. It's so easy to just get caught up in stopping, fixing a spot, and carrying on. But there are ways to save a lot of time and effort and be very useful in making it come across as a finished product in the end. So I'll show you what I am doing with it at this point, and then I'll show you a couple of ideas. So. Repeats, and then it goes. And that all repeats. So it's a fun piece to play, and I keep my pencil handy, so if there's a spot where I was stumbling, I'll take a few bars on either side of that stumble, and then I'll play that section 10 times a day, just slow and steadily. When you learn something slowly, it usually sticks a lot longer. If you learn it fast, it goes away from you very quickly too. So, and little things like if there's a scale passage, say a scale that goes beyond C major, but it's C major. So if I write in there C major when I'm when I go to, I put it in with a dark pencil, C major. Then my mind instantly knows that that's what I'm going to play, and I know the fingering of C major. So I automatically have a freedom in my mind that I can look ahead to what's coming next, because my mind already knows that much. It knows, because it starts on an upbeat, second out of 4/16, but it goes on. So now when it's coming down, 1 4 1 4 1 4 1 4. When I see that pattern, and I know that it's just a C major triad or 4-note chord, I can do that for memory already. So just having that awareness gets me past that part of the piece. So I'll start again, and when I come to a tricky spot that I'm stumbling, I'll show you what I mean about taking apart 10 times a day, slowly and steadily, and repeating across the link to get that part as a connecting strong point. My weak spots have to become my strong spots. So, and to get the spirit of the piece, release on the way up and have that steel sharp finger, but don't be tight in the hand as you flop down through and find the trampoline or find the pogo stick where you can jump and hop. So you see, if I just play it from touching the keys, I can't get the spirit, but if I can, it's so loose and to the floor, flopping to the floor, and the doorknob rotation that way. Now I heard that I wasn't even. While I was going, I knew it was a C major scale. So see that part. So I see that the left is just like an Alberti bass. It just, so that's 2 full bars of doing that, and then back to this. So if I'm aware that in the whole 4-bar phrase, it's all except for that 1 bar where it's, I take my pencil and I just mark in the F, and then right away, and I put the E for when it returns. Then I know in my mind what I'm going to be playing already. And then I can listen that the length of each of those notes is equal. So, and I've got to keep the left hand light, so it's just floating and buoyant. But I don't want an aggressive sound, and yet I want a sparkling sound. So I want it to sound with spirit, but not forced. So if I can think of coming into each note in a tender way, just not forced. That I don't like, so I'm going to go. And I might even put the metronome onto that. Tick, 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 tick. And I hear which note is not even. So when I go that slowly, I can keep each note equal in length. So. F sharp. See, the piece is in C major, but it's modulated to G major here. So I've got to write at the start of this phrase G major, and then my mind is already anticipating that F sharp. Whereas if I'm just reading the notes in the going, it's a big surprise all of a sudden when I come to an F sharp, because I'm not thinking harmonically. But I've finished this C major, and you see, keys of first relationship are keys you might likely move to, and the keys of first relationship for a piece that's in C major are the sharp side, which is the dominant, 5 notes up, so G major with 1 sharp, and the flat side, which is 4 notes up, F major with 1 flat, so the flat side and the sharp side. So, and then each of their relative minors. So C major's relative minor is A minor, and I'd be watching for the G sharp for that. And I notice a G sharp right there in the 3rd line, so I know that I'm into A minor, because you go G sharp into A minor. Sure enough, there it is. And then that C sharp is the leading note for D minor. And D minor is from the relative minor of F major. So everything makes sense when you think harmonically. And then you watch that it's not a key of this sudden modulation or something out of, that's not a key of first relationship. But this is how you try to understand the score better. And it gets you through a lot of difficult spots. So let's just try this once again. Because I knew it was, I'd written G major, so I knew it was no big surprise to have my hand over the F sharp, because G major. That's messy. So that would be a spot that I would take just that 1 bar 10 times a day and go slow. Would include this F sharp, and I'd write F sharp, and I'd write the finger that it's a 5, so F sharp 5, because then when my eyeball looks to that F sharp 5 written there like that, I don't have to just think of the letter name and then the accidental. So so I take that bar over. Second time. 3rd time. So I had a wrong note. Go slow a little further along. Now there's an octave there, so I'm just going to write in octave. As soon as I write octave, I'll know that the next note up is a D. So I won't have to read the name. I just automatically see octave, and I'll know. And it's tricky there because it's a very difficult little sequence, that bar over 2, but including the first note of the next bar. I need to see that 3, that it goes 5, 3 from D to B, and so I circle the 3. See all the mistakes? And so I write the D, and I write the B. And then when I come back at it, then it's good. So that's 1 that's good out of 10. So I got 9 more to go. I'm trying to come into each key gently. Now each key. That was blurry, so. See, when I shape ahead for it, I get it. There it is. Now, the fingering, if I put it solid, and I use the fingering that's written, then I'll see that the triad is G major triad, and it's 5-3-1. So I write in the 3, and I've got they've written in the 5 and the 3 and the 1. So I've got the 5-3-1 there, and then there's no question. So the 2 on the D sharp just makes me know what to shape for. That's why it's so handy to learn your scales, because when you know your scales, you just need to know the beginning and the end of the part of the scale line, and you've got it made. You don't need to read those notes at all. So now there's the first thing that's difficult. It's that it's a 4 in the left. So I circle the 4, and I put the name D, and then I know to shape for that. So it's going to be, that's G major. So if I know that it's just straight G major, I write in G plus G major, and then I know that it's descending G major. And I got to know that it's together, so I'll put a G here, and I'll put a G here, and then I'll know to play the 2 together, and I won't be just playing 1. I missed that again. Back here on the line before, I'll put an arrow down that I'm going down, and I'll put the G so I know that I'm going down to the G before I get to it. So see, I just shaped for it because I had it written there like that. Makes all the difference. So see, it has to be able to, you have to know that when you get to the bottom, because you kept going all the way through, you're going to be floating on it, and it's going to be buoyant, and it's not going to be forced, because if it's forced, it's, but if it's, you catch it in the motion. You're always trying to make each phrase as musical as you can, shape ahead for it. Anyway, I hope that gives you some ideas. It's a beautiful little piece, and the first page and a half repeats, and then the last of this middle, the biggest part of this page and the last page all repeat. And so you can say it a little differently the second time on the repeat, and just keeps it more interesting. So when I get it memorized, and it won't be long because I'll be doing these 10 times a day sections, then I'll be able to play it for you with security, and my fingers will know exactly where they're going because I'll have internalized the music. So I hope you'll look that one up. It's Sonatina in C by Clementi, Opus 36, number 3. You should be able to download it off the internet. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Have a good night. Bye-bye.